So today we are talking to Erik Nielsen, who is the president of GPM, which is Global Process Manager, a subsidiary of the broader Magsaysay Group. So let's see what he has to say.
I'm Erik Nielsen. I've been in the Philippines for 14 years. I've been in the offshoring space, the shared service center space, for the past 12 years. And I got into this through a Danish shipping company called Maersk Line by managing their shared service center for 4 years in Manila. Then I moved on to Regis, managing their global service center for 2 years. And now I've been in the Magsaysay Group, specifically GPM, for 6.5 years. I'm also at the same time honorary consul in Manila and quite active in the Chambers of Commerce and our IT and Business Processing Association. GPM is one of the 50-plus companies in the Magsaysay Group, which is a privately held, family-owned company that has been around for 70 years. GPM is 11 years old, and it is a fully owned company that provides hosted office services and solutions to companies from abroad. Magsaysay is known here for anything maritime. We are probably the largest third-party manning company, providing more than 40,000 Filipino seafarers to the world's merchant fleet. And we have a large training, catering training activity, as well as 2 institutes of shipping where we train the officers. We just inaugurated one 6 months ago in Cavite with space for 1,000 cadets. The other main activity would be anything to do with shipping and logistics. That is the Magsaysay Shipping and Logistics division with 20 companies or so, providing cold chain distribution, warehousing, trucking, customs clearance, and of course 2 shipping lines taking containers around the Philippines. We do see that not only does offshoring or outsourcing of work to locations like the Philippines save money, it also improves quality, because suddenly these tasks often handled in the branches around the world or head office are maybe not a full-time activity, but once it is gathered from the whole world and placed centralized in Manila, it becomes somebody's full-time job, and he or she will see how it can be done better or faster. Plus, we are very good at process improvement, process enhancements, using Six Sigma tools, etc., in order to get better productivity. And we do find that the Philippines is a great area, a great country for this, because of the good English skills. And one of the main activities here now would be finance and accounting. We have a wealth of accounting graduates, CPAs, etc., as well as IT. That's another big activity. But really, it is possible to offshore almost any function. In my 12 years of doing offshoring, I've been part of setting up departments for business analytics, for procurement, customer service, you name it, vessel operation, IT development, actually developing systems and apps, etc. So I would say anything that is not customer-facing, like sales and some customer service, can be offshored. Today, most of our clients hail from Scandinavia. They find that GPM offers them exactly what they need in terms of support, caring for staff, getting qualified staff. We do find an advantage to be part of a financially solid group as well, so we can undertake the investments in facilities that I'd like to show you. We can set up own dedicated offices or put them in our open plan office, whatever they desire. So for every client, it's a customized solution. We even allow or can cater also to customized benefits. We don't force anyone into our regime of leave days and what have you. So it is a customizable, efficient, and fast solution. We generally say that we can, from we get the first job description, we can have someone in that seat 45 days later. And that is allowing for the usual 30 days resignation period to the existing employer. We would always recommend to start with few employees, maybe even 2 or 1 or 5, to get a proof of concept. And once you see that this work can actually be done, thousands of kilometers from where your office may be, then it is possible to expand, or then they feel more confident about expanding. If the processes or functions are not thoroughly mapped where they are today, we can also assist with tools for that. We can assist in the entire migration process in order to bring work over here. But it is not that complicated. Some clients actually employ a consultant, in-house or an external, for a few months to help them with it. Others just start out and find that they can easily monitor the quality of the work and the productivity from abroad. I would always recommend to have top-level buy-in from the company beforehand, because it is a lot, in my experience, it's a lot easier to offshore work or outsource if there is a mandate for it. If the service center has to sell itself, do sales work to country organizations around the world, it is a struggle, and it's taking time, and it's costing more money and traveling and presentations, etc. But if there is a top-down mandate from the CFO or CEO or COO, this is what we will do. 70% of the finance end-to-end process must be in the service center, for example. Then it's just a case of how do we do it and when do we do it, but not if we have to do it. So that is one thing. The other learning I would say is to have a complete migration framework ready before you even start, and that includes the future organization as well, because obviously when some jobs are moved to Manila, some people will be out of a job, or at least change character of job to something probably more interesting, more analytical, because we take care of everything transactional. But that discussion has to be had before even starting, because otherwise there will be resistance in the organization if people are not sure who's on board later on, and we also risk that we do not get the full story. We're not told all the steps because really somebody would rather see the service center fail. So let's say the internal company politics have to be sorted out, and the company has to be ready to offshore. So generally we quote a lump sum per workstation used. So even if a client will ask us to set up an office for 20, but they take their time to get there, they only pay for the number of seats actually used. We will initially have a discussion on what facilities we set up, what size desk, and whether the client wishes to work with thin clients or desktop PCs or laptops or 1 or 2 monitors, etc., so that we can get all that ready. Then we will also, of course, talk about what they need in terms of payroll, HR services, etc. We lump that in, and IT as well, and internet. Usually we provide the bandwidth, but we do have clients who, once they reach a certain size, would like to connect their Manila office to their global network, and then we don't provide that service instead anymore, and then we provide a reduction instead. So let's say a ballpark figure would be several $100s per workstation per month would be the facility fee. On top comes the salaries and benefits, but that is billed as it is incurred. We have no markup on that, so there's total transparency on that. And the client also has the final say on who we hire and has to approve the job offer before we extend it here. Of course, it all depends what the company does, but assuming a normal multifunction company, I would say one good place to start could be finance and accounting, particularly accounts payable, accounts receivable, maybe some collection support, even billing. I've been part of setting up a global billing office in Manila, simply billing clients worldwide. Those are some of the fairly easy functions that one can set up. Others start out with IT help desk, IT support. That is also easy. Our Filipino staff have no problems working any time of day or night, and that is a good way to start. And usually companies find that once they have a team in Manila doing one function, they would want to do something more, something else. Customer support perhaps, or operational support, or business analytics, or anything like that. So I would suggest to get quick wins with and proof of concept with some of the easy processes. Yeah, so when we start up a new client team here, and as I said before, it's usually European clients we've had, we actually run a bit of culture training for both sides of it. I have a pretty interesting and quite funny presentation to Filipinos on how to work with Westerners. and I have one for them on how to work with Filipinos, just so that there are some things we can already deal with that might be different in their expectations. Once we have them on board, of course, we take good care of them. We arrange for staff outings, team building every year at least, family day, and of course, big Christmas party with raffle prizes. That's a big thing in the Philippines. We have on site here a childcare center that's free of charge, where single mothers can drop off their children. We do provide a number of quite good benefits, including health insurance for the employees and their immediate family. And yeah, once we spread the Magsaysay name, it's quite easy to get a number of CVs. Having been in this business for 12 years, I can say that we have really moved up the value ladder in terms of the work that is being done here now. It is very much decision-based, not anymore so rules-based. It's true that there is still the image that BPO, business process outsourcing, is really call center work, but it's not. The non-voice sector is expanding much faster than the voice sector because companies want to take advantage of the highly skilled Filipinos who are naturally English-speaking. So what we see coming, we have a bit of it in-house as well, is business analytics, data mining, data analysts, some of the new disciplines, Internet of Things, etc., even artificial intelligence. And we are really moving rapidly up the value chain. It goes also for the finance and accounting as an example. Some of the things that have been here for years, now we get more advanced and will also do perhaps cash management globally from here or tax management globally from here with people who have knowledge of the tax regimes in various countries and can do optimization from here. This is really usually head office work, but increasingly we see that moving here as well. I would suggest they contact us and we can put them in contact with, for example, some of our existing clients. We have a few testimonials on our website, but we can put them in contact with someone who's actually done that journey and been through that, other than the assistance we can give them. And I think it's really just a case of starting out. As I mentioned before, it can be one employee. There is no investment by the client abroad. We take care of the investment. There is also no need to register any company here just to get started because it is seat leasing with staff leasing, as some people call it, maybe not a charming word for it, but hosted office services, meaning they are our employees, but they work for you abroad. So really there's no investment, there's no risk, and it's just a case of trying it out for a proof of concept. So far we have been able to hire for all the positions that our clients have asked us to fill. For example, vessel operators for a shipping company. What else has been unusual? Telecommunications engineers. We had a team of 45 telecommunications engineers working for a Danish telecommunications company. It is not all run-of-the-mill, so we take that challenge. We work with a dozen headhunters. We have the largest corporate recruiter package possible on LinkedIn. We're on social media, of course, the various job portals, etc. So we can always find the staff required by our clients abroad. Yes, I suggest that they start by contacting us, perhaps through our website, www.gpm.com.ph, and then we'll have a discussion on what is on their mind, what are they thinking of, and we can probably assist based on our experience from other teams. We can also recommend a couple of consultants if they need a bit of assistance initially with the migration framework and how to go about it. And again, asking some of our existing clients, they often do not mind. So I would suggest to do that because a company really needs to be very prepared before offshoring or outsourcing anything. It means mapping the existing process, which may not be done always in the office where it is. But once it is abroad, we see great interest in measuring our productivity, accuracy, timeliness, etc., which we do. But we often find the comparison with the past is not easy or not possible because it wasn't measured before. And the productivity always goes up by offshoring or outsourcing it to someone who has that as a dedicated job without being disturbed by telephones or client emails, etc. So this is why companies outsource.